now I'm realizing that maintaining a balanced diet, getting your meals in, I wake up ready every morning to do for myself. And I know if I take care of myself for an hour and doing a workout and getting that, I don't even want to say getting it out of the way because I look forward to it. But then I know, like, okay, you did your thing today. Now you can go on, you can do your work, you can take care of your kids, you can get their schoolwork done. And I just have a much better mindset going after it all. All women, regardless of if they're mothers, what they do for a living, if they're stay-at-home moms, regardless, I think every person deserves time to themselves. I mean, we all have busy schedules, we all have a lot going on, but if we don't take the time out for ourselves, I don't think we have a clear head to focus on anything that comes our way. That's what I think most about starting out with a food journal and keeping a food journal and just being mindful of getting your meals in and what type of food you're putting in your body. Because for the longest time, I knew I wanted to get up and exercise every day, but there was something that made me, not get out of bed, whether I was tired or, whatever it was. Like now I think I really just didn't have the energy to sustain getting up and working out. I wanted to lay in bed. Like there was nothing that really motivated me to get up and do it. And now that I have the energy and just, after being in the routine with it, like I don't want to lose that routine. It's become part of my everyday life, just like everything else has. Once you get in the habit, it's a lifestyle more, and that's how I totally feel now. But it took me a long time to get to that point. So I think number one, I never really made the time to get my meals ready. I know I was always taking care of everyone else, but I would just be so on the go and on the fly for myself. I got to the point where I was like, okay, if you don't eat breakfast, that's better than if you don't just throw something together and eat it and go and have a salad at lunch. And then I would get home and I was famished at dinner time, and I would eat anything and everything as I was making dinner, like a healthy, nutritious dinner for my family. I would sit down and I'm like, no, well, I'm not even hungry now because I just snacked on anything that was available in the cabinet. It really made me see that it's okay to eat. It's okay to eat every, 3 hours and keep fueling your body, because then you're eating the right things and you're not going for the junk food or, just a quick fix that kind of satisfies that hunger pain. Going back 10 years and having 3 kids, that I went through all these ups and downs of different cycles of, putting on weight, being pregnant, breastfeeding, the weight coming off much easier than I anticipated. And then it was like, oh, this is easy. Like you're not really maintaining the diet and the exercise that I was used to doing before having kids, but I was a lower number on the scale. And that was like victory for me. But I was also much more on the go. Like before having kids, I worked at a desk job. I was sitting there for 40 hours every week. And if I didn't go to the gym at night, I probably would have went stir crazy. So I, was much more routine at that point. But then having kids, and I think just being home with them and juggling part-time work at that point, like I was never really sitting down, eating really quick, eating on the go, not being able to do the same things that always worked as the quick fixes. I know I was very obsessed with a number on the scale, and it seemed like I would kind of do anything to get to that number, even though I knew like it wasn't the healthy or the right choice. When I finally made the commitment and found you kind of set the stone that I knew what needed to be done, but I couldn't do it on my own. I needed somebody coaching me and pushing me and just doing it step by step. And I think baby steps is definitely the way to go about it, rather than jumping head first and being like, okay, a week later, you're going to see all these results. Like they don't last. It's not practical. Last year, I was looking for someone like you, but what I was finding wasn't really a one-on-one. And I think female to female definitely helped, was what I needed in my situation. You really are looking to finalize goals and to truly help people. And it's not just kind of like a moneymaker or a gimmick that, comes up on Instagram or Facebook. You see all of these options and these before and after photos, again, of like a week's difference or 30-day difference, and you get sucked into that. But I knew after, what I've been through personally, that I needed one-on-one contact. I needed somebody who was going to look at exactly what I was doing, offer me tips, offer me pointers, not just a generic email that I knew was being sent out to a group of people I was working with that I didn't know. And we talk every week, and I feel like you've gotten to know me and you took the time to get to know me, and you look at what I'm doing every week, and that makes all the difference in what's going to work for me, because everybody's different. I think my first aha moment was when you truly critique what I was eating. I worked with a coach a year ago that, again, I knew I was just getting a generic email. Every time I asked him a question, it just came back with a group listing of things that I was like, well, that's not really, what I'm looking for specifically. I mean, when you look at my food journal, you were telling me you could add this in, you can take that out, you could cut that serving in half. And then the numbers start to line up, and it makes it a lot easier, where I think I was dreading having to keep track and enter in my food journal and, looking at where everything was at. But then once you get the hang of it, it's so much easier. It really does just come natural, and kind of what you need to add, what you can take away. You learn what you like. I mean, I'm definitely a person of routine, so that helps too. But your guidance was key. Definitely skipped meals all the time and felt like that was my key to weight loss. And now I think the biggest thing is not skipping meals, because if you eat a balanced meal, you will not be hungry or famished by the end of your day and looking to eat anything that's in sight. I think the investment, number one, is I think the investment helps you. I mean, I think we all know that if we're going to pay for something, we're going to put a little more effort into it and be more mindful with what we're doing. But I have to say, at this point, I don't even really think about the investment part of it. It's just second nature, that this is my lifestyle, this is what I'm doing. I'm happy that ironically, I started this before the pandemic started, because I had the time at home to really focus on it and put the time and effort into it. But now I live with the feeling of feeling good. And no matter, what our lives end up being throughout the summer or once the school year starts and, we go back to our quote unquote normal routines, I know I want to keep this feeling. The investment to me is what I'll always go back to, but it's what I feel for the investment, because I hadn't been able to do that for years. No, it really is. It makes me feel so much better about myself. And I just think taking that time, everybody needs it. You can't give to other people if you're not giving for yourself. That's the biggest thing too that I feel good about, is with summer coming and going for ice cream. If I get ice cream one night a week, I'm okay with it. I think before too, again, I was so hungry that when I was presented with ice cream in front of me, I just wanted to eat it all. Where now I'm like, okay, I can order a kitty size cone once a week and eat it and enjoy it. And again, there's no guilt. I think that's the best feeling too, is that I'm not beating myself up over anything that I'm doing. If anything, I applaud myself and I feel better about it.